Hello, this is Dr. Paul Cottrell, and I'd like to talk about the latest by the CDC. The numbers did go up on the dashboard, so we'll go over those. But please go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com. The link is in the description of this video, and make sure that you click the medicine tab to be able to see the uploaded PDFs that I have about different medical topics. And if you could, please donate on my website through Stripe, PayPal, or buy me a coffee to help support my news coverage. I really appreciate that. In addition, I also have started the immunology classes, so you can purchase those for $50. You'll get 15 lectures with videos and PDF files. I cover a wide variety of topics involving the immune system. So here are the topics. Each one of these is a PDF and a lecture. I upload a new PDF and a lecture, video lecture each day for 15 days. It's only $50 for the whole module. And you can also get the pulmonology module for $50. And there's 22 lectures here with PDF files and videos. So that's a great way to help support my work and learn about how the body works and about medicine and health. In addition, you can purchase ebooks on my website, and please go to my store and get the structural nanosilvers products that I have, such as the toothpaste and liquids and gels and soaps, lozenges, multivitamins. And then also, I have a very strong antioxidant, which is C60. I have it in a 2-ounce, a 4-ounce, and an 8-ounce configuration. I have it in extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. I have a plethora of different supplements like D3, vitamin C, omega-3, ashwagandha root, Goodnight Formula, probiotics, resveratrol, vitamin B complex, turmeric, the magnesium and zinc, lignans, which is very important to get to improve your immune system, collagen, a digestive enzyme complex, which is very important. It's part of my protocol, and clarity factor. The reason why the digestive enzymes are so important is that not only do they break carbs, proteins, and lipids to help with digestion and absorption, but they also have, this also has a enzyme in there that will help to break up clots and help to break up glycoproteins. So with that said, I also have these all natural deodorants. I partnered up with Rainbow Herbals. We've created these very high quality deodorants, and we have an even better bar for skincare. I have these anti-aging boxes at different price points to help you start on your journey to slowing down the aging process, improve your health, and boost your immune system. So with that, let's go to the let's see. Okay, now we're going to be going to the dashboard. Now, for the dashboard, the birds detected, wild birds detected, are 9,373. That has not changed since the last video. The counties affected and across the United States is 1,145. Now that's the wild birds being detected with the H5N1. Now, what has this hasn't gone up since the last video, but this number is starting to become concerning. This is the potential number of birds that could be affected based on this 1,145 outbreak. All right. There are 525 counties that are affected in the United States. we've been hearing about some farms being asked to execute their chickens. So this is the potential number of birds that contracted H5N1. They're basically, they don't really know how many turkeys or chickens that are actually affected. So when there's an outbreak, if it's bad, then they'll actually cull the whole flock. And that's part of the reason why chicken prices and egg prices may go up in the near future in the United States. Okay, so the outbreaks are not growing at any fast pace, but there was an additional 4 million birds that were potentially affected. All right, so with that said, what is concerning is the increase in the cows. I think the last time I talked about this, it was, I believe it was, I think it was at 67 or 69 cows. Now it's the same 9 states: Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Idaho, South Dakota, Michigan, Ohio, and North Carolina. But there has been a lot of new cases that popped up in Idaho, one in Michigan, and one in South Dakota. So where the hotbed is right now with the cows, it's Michigan, Colorado, South Dakota, and Idaho. All right, but this latest round, it's been a major increase. Now there is a lag time between when they confirm it and when it's actually on the dashboard. Okay, so here we're now at 79. Now the number of people that contracted it this year is still 3. We have all 3 have conjunctivitis, but one of the 3, the latest one in Michigan, also had some coughing. Now, like I said before, I have more questions for that particular case, because does this individual has it been ruled out that this individual only has H5N1, the highly pathogenic version, or does this individual also have another version of influenza A? So that I don't know. And I don't see anywhere in the media that it actually, or even by the CDC, where it rules that out. If we start to see more humans being exposed that have respiratory problems that are, by either poultry or by cows, and all of these cases have been dairy cows, for this year, 1 case with poultry in 2022. If we start to see respiratory cases increase, then there's an increase in risk. Okay, it's still relatively low. It's not super low, but it's because of this issue with the respiratory, but it's still relatively low. So the average person in the population that doesn't work on a farm is okay. If you have meat and you're cooking it, you're not going to have to worry about it. If you drink pasteurized milk, you don't really have to worry about it. All right. What will happen in society is that prices may go up because of the culling of poultry and potentially of cattle. So you're going to see egg prices and meat prices go up, especially with chicken. But if we start to see more cases of humans getting the respiratory side of this, and it has been ruled out that it's a different version of influenza A, and it is the H5N1 in the lung, this highly pathogenic version, then that's increased elevated risk for mutations that could have that truncation in the NA region, the NA protein. If that's truncated, then it'll be able to get into human cells easier. And if the complex, the replication complex, there's 4 proteins that have to be mutated in such a way to improve in the human's replication. If those happen, then elevated risk is much higher. It's not low, it goes to moderate high. So it just depends on the number of cases and what the mutations are, what type of mutations. At this moment in time, it's low. I am concerned that there's a respiratory issue here. It could be a one-off and it's no big deal. We don't even know if it's 2 versions of influenza A, because I don't see anywhere where it's been ruled out. But maybe it has been ruled out. But if we see larger numbers of humans working on the farms that are starting to have respiratory problems, and the sequencing of that H5N1 shows that there are mutations of concern, like the replicase complex and the NA truncation, then it's elevated risk. Now, like I said before, this is probably a zoonotic event. There is some coincidences that are odd, and that is these outbreaks did not happen until after the joint research between the United States, UK, and China, which started in 2021 in April, because the first case seemed to pop up in 2022. But this strain has been worked on and known all the way back to 1997. So, this most likely is zoonosis, natural. But that does not mean we can't rule out, but it's low probability that was some sort of accidental or purposeful lab leak. But we do, so zoonosis is most likely most likely what has happened, but it doesn't mean that nefarious individuals piggyback a zoonosis event and have something that has a similar lineage that's in the wild and piggyback this and release and cause even more havoc on the farms or even in human populations. That's concerning. And if that happened, it's extremely high level of risk. My concern is that there's going to be forced inoculations on the farms with the workers and of the livestock. That could be problematic. If this does get worse and we elevate our risks to the overall population, especially if this mutates and there's more of a respiratory infection, then there's going to be a big push for, in the fall, influenza inoculations. My concern is that since we've gone through a health crisis in 2020, that our immune systems are down for multiple reasons. I don't have to get into the details in this video on why, but through natural infection and through the inoculation, our immune systems are weakened. Additional inoculations are going to weaken the immune system. So we need to pay attention to this issue. It's still relatively low risk for the average. It's very low risk for the average population. There is a slightly elevated risk for workers on the farm because of this respiratory issue. In addition, I have not seen anything, and probably there will be a paper that's published, but I haven't seen anything, as of yet, to prove which type of receptor this individual that has the respiratory problem. Is it the upper receptors of the lung or the lower receptors of the lung? That's an important feature. So, so there's still questions to kind of figure out with this third case. This third case was in Michigan, and there is a plethora of new cases in Idaho. So we're now at 79, and for the dairy cows, and we need to be vigilant here. Risks are relatively low for people that are working on the farm as of right now. Most likely, we're going to see some, some sort of higher food costs because of extermination of poultry and eggs. They're probably going to be a problem too. If the respiratory infection starts to take hold in more farm workers and we start to see an elevated number of cases, that's going to start raising the risk for the overall population, especially if the NA truncation is in that in those cases. So just pay attention. Hopefully this just dies down, but as of right now, I'm just watching. I'm not super alarmed at all. I don't want to create some sort of panic. There is nothing to panic about at this moment in time, but just be aware that something could emerge naturally where this gets worse, or people that are nefarious piggyback off of a zoonosis event and release something that is much more problematic, that has a similar lineage. So please go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and help support my work by purchasing the products or donating. Also, please follow me on YouTube. I have 4 channels on YouTube. I have Brighteon, Bitchute, and Rumble. I have noticed that people get the notifications a little late when I do the premieres on YouTube. Sometimes you get it a notification almost 24 hours later, or a couple hours after the premiere. So please also follow me on X and on GETTR, because I will post when I am playing a video, especially a premiere. So please follow me on X and GETTR, also on YouTube, Brighteon, Bitchute, and Rumble, so you can get around the censorship and find my content. Please share my content. I greatly appreciate it. In addition, please help support my work by being a paid Patreon member on my channel. There are different tiers. The higher tiers, like tier 2, 3, and 4, you do get some access, limited access to some of my medical lectures as a benefit for being a higher tiered level Patreon subscriber. So that's a great way to help support my work. I have a large following, especially overseas, and they can't purchase my products. So for the ones that are watching me overseas in different countries, please, if you'd like to help support my work, please be a paid member either on Patreon, or you can donate on my website through Stripe, PayPal, or buy me a coffee, share my links, and purchase my lectures that I have for the medical lectures in pulmonology and in immunology. That's a great way to help support my work. I greatly appreciate all the support that you have provided me for the last 4 years or so, since we've been navigating through these different crises since 2020. And I'm just trying to give you my perspective on this. This is not something to worry about for the average person, but we have to be vigilant. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.